August 12th. Hockey Canada's own independent appeal board rules that Carter Hart breached the organization's code of conduct. His new reinstatement date, November 10th, 2027. Important distinction right away before anything else. This isn't the sexual assault case. Hart and 4 former teammates were already acquitted of that back in July of 2025. Full acquittal, all charges. This is a separate Hockey Canada process, running on a completely different standard, code of conduct instead of criminal guilt, and it's what's kept him off any national team program since November of 2023. And Hart's not even getting off easy compared to the other 4. Calfoot's suspension ends this coming November. Alex Formentin got reinstated immediately that same day. Dylan Dubé's out until 2028. Michael McLeod all the way until 2030. Same ruling, same announcement, 4 completely different outcomes depending on what the board found for each guy individually. So here's the actual question nobody's fully answered yet. Hart's ban ends about 3 months before the 2028 World Cup of Hockey kicks off across Calgary, Edmonton, and Prague. Technically, on the calendar, he could be eligible in time. Whether Hockey Canada would actually put him on that roster is a completely different fight. That's the one worth getting into. Worth knowing how long this has actually been hanging over these guys too. Hockey Canada first suspended all 5 back on November 10th, 2023, well before any of this went to trial. They tried to appeal it that same year, and the appeal board adjourned the whole thing until the criminal case wrapped up. So this exact ruling we're talking about today has effectively been sitting, paused for close to 3 years. That's not a quick process by any measure, quick background, because I think this gets lost in a lot of coverage. June 2018, a hotel in London, Ontario, following a Hockey Canada gala celebrating that year's World Junior Gold Medal. A woman came forward alleging sexual assault involving multiple players. It didn't become public until 2022, when it came out that Hockey Canada had quietly settled a civil suit over it, which is its own scandal, parliamentary hearings, sponsors pulling out. The whole organization's leadership eventually got replaced. Criminal charges followed in 2024. The trial ran most of 2025. In July, Justice Maria Carocha found all 5 players not guilty, citing a lack of credible or reliable evidence. Not a technicality, not insufficient to proceed. Acquitted. So legally, that's over. What Hockey Canada ruled on this week is something else entirely. Their own internal investigation, separate from the courts, using their own code of conduct as the yardstick instead of the criminal standard. Their own language on it is basically that the courts didn't call this criminal, but their board still found it crossed their own conduct line. 2 different processes, 2 different conclusions, and I think conflating them into one banned for assault headline is actually where a lot of the public confusion on this story comes from. There's another wrinkle too, even past November 2027. Any player being considered for a future national team has to go through what Hockey Canada calls an enhanced screening process, including a fresh third-party review of the 2018 findings specifically. So the suspension ending isn't even the whole hurdle. There's a second gate after that one. Worth saying plainly, because it's easy to miss in a story with this many names attached, the investigation didn't find that anyone else on that 2018 roster breached the code. Everybody else from that team is already eligible for Hockey Canada programs again, effective immediately. This isn't a blanket punishment on a whole championship team. It's 5 specific players, and even among those 5, 4 very different outcomes. On Formentin, specifically, his lawyer Daniel Brown put out a statement that's worth including for balance, since his client's the one who walked away clean today. He talked about the years Formentin lost to this process and said flatly, those lost years cannot be returned to him. Whatever you think of the underlying case, that's a real cost that doesn't show up in a suspension calendar. Now, Hart's on-ice case for actually being in this conversation in 2028 is real, and I don't think you can talk around it. The NHL ran its own separate process here too, by the way, nothing to do with Hockey Canada. The league cleared all 5 to sign contracts starting October 15th of last year, actually eligible to play December 1st. Hart moved fastest of any of them, signing with Vegas on a 2-year deal on October 24th. The Golden Knights put out their own statement doing it, saying they remain committed to the core values that have defined our organization from its inception. Make of that what you will. On the ice, though, regular season was quiet. 13 wins, 3 losses, 3 overtime losses in 18 starts. Save percentage around .91, nothing that jumps off the page. Then the playoffs happened. 14 wins, 8 losses, a 2.56 goals against average, a .909 save percentage, and a run all the way to the Stanley Cup final before running into Carolina and going cold at the worst possible time. No other Canadian goaltender in that entire postseason really compares to that stretch he had. So if you're purely grading the tape, Hart's got a legitimate case. That's not me saying he should get picked, that's just what the numbers say. He wouldn't be the only name in the conversation, though, and nobody at Hockey Canada has actually said anything yet about how they're building that 2028 crease. Logan Thompson's out there, Jordan Binnington, Mackenzie Blackwood, Stuart Skinner, Jet Greaves, Scott Wedgwood too, who had a solid enough playoff run himself in Colorado. This is entirely sports writers speculating 2 years out. Nobody's floated an actual shortlist officially, so take all of that as informed guessing, not a leaked roster. Here's the part that's already happening though, and it's happening fast. Both Yahoo Sports and Hockey Feed are reporting that Hart's already drawing backlash online since this ruling came down, that his name's trending. I can't independently verify trending numbers off a screenshot, so I'll just say what's actually confirmed. The coverage itself is generating a lot of heated reaction, and that's before he's even technically eligible again. If that's the temperature now, 3 months out from actual eligibility, I have a hard time picturing it cooling off by 2028. And that's really the whole tension here, isn't it? It's not really a calendar problem anymore. The math works out fine for him. It's a willingness problem. Does Hockey Canada, an organization that's already been through years of reputational damage over this exact case, actually want to hand a jersey back to one of the 5 central names in it, even after an acquittal, even with the on-ice numbers to justify it on merit alone? There's a version of this where none of it even matters, honestly. Hart still has to be one of the best 2 or 3 Canadian goalies alive in early 2028 on a Vegas team that may or may not even be good by then. Injuries happen, goalies go cold, a lot can change in 18 months. This whole debate could end up being entirely hypothetical if his form doesn't hold. But if it does hold, if he's still playing like he did in that cup run, Hockey Canada is going to have to actually answer this question instead of letting the calendar answer it for them. I genuinely don't know which way that goes. Part of me thinks talent wins out in international hockey. It usually does. That's basically the whole history of best-on-best tournaments. Part of me thinks Hockey Canada's spent the last 4 years trying to distance itself from this exact story, and probably isn't eager to put it back on the front page right before a tournament they're hosting at home. Where do you land on it? Let me know down below.